Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Ruben Torrens, and lately I've been doing actually a lot of cases, a lot of retirement planning for my clients, people that watch my videos and call me and want me to do the retirement. Thank you for that. Thank you for the confidence. And because retirement is so special, so unique for every one of us, and some cases are really, really interesting. I decide to those very interesting cases to convert them into a video and post them online. Of course, I will change the identity of the client, so I'm not going to disclose anything like that. But this is one of those cases. In this case, these clients are. They have a lot of time. They're 7 years away from retirement. They call me early enough to make changes, necessary changes. And after those changes, well, guess what happens? So their income expectations increase by $7,500 per year for the rest of their retirement, for the rest of their life. Like this is a lot of money, guys. If this client happens to live up to life expectancy only, which is age 85, from 65 to 85, 20 years, that will be an extra $150,000 or more in their pockets. This is a lot of money what we're talking about. And speaking of that, I'm working also in another case that I haven't even presented to the client yet, but when the client called me, I was asking the question because I ask a lot of questions, mainly I have questions on the money that you have, on how much you have for retirement, and what your retirement pension income is going to be, and what your expectations are in retirement, what you want to achieve, what you want to do in retirement. And based on these clients' comments, I was thinking that the client will be better off by postponing all day security and taking CPP at age 65 than doing what he was trying to do or intending to do, which was taking CPP and postponing all day security. And when I told him this, he said, but everybody recommends to postpone its Canada pension plan. And say, yes, and I do the same thing. But in this case, everybody's different. In this case, I think this is what it's going to be. So I run the numbers, and yes, that's what it is when it come out. So you don't want to miss that video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and you hit the little bell to not to miss any future videos, because in the next few days, as soon as I present this case to the client, I will post a video on these numbers, and you will be surprised how in this case the person will be better off by taking CPP at age 65, which is actually in 2 months he was going to turn age 65, and postponing for 3 or 4 years his all-day security. But anyway, let's get back to this case, and let me show you why I'm saying that potentially this client can increase their income by $7,500 per year for their retirement. This is a couple, and their names are Carlos and Vicky. And in 2024, this year, Carlos turned age 58 and Vicky age 56. And Carlos has $120,000 of income. Vicky doesn't work. She worked very little since they're in Canada. So she will have very little Canada pension plan. And they wish to retire when Carlos turns age 65. Vicky will be age 63. And the number of years of residency in Canada by age 65 will be 27 for Carlos and two more for Vicky, because Vicky came 2 years younger than Carlos. She was 2 years younger than Carlos when they came to Canada. So by the time she turns age 65, she will have 29 years in Canada. They have RRSP savings. Carlos make all these contributions, and every year when he makes the RRSP contributions, he makes half, 50% on his name, 50% on Vicky's name as a spousal contribution, which is a good idea. But you will see what we're going to do with this later on in the video in a couple of minutes. So future contributions, Carlos is planning to continue contributing to RRSPs, $20,000 per year for the next 7 years. So he will contribute an extra $140,000. And still planning to contribute this half on his name, half on Vicky's name. So at retirement time, They work out this with their financial advisor, the person that guides them with their retirement, and they're confident that they will have $400,000 in RRSPs to convert into RIF. And they have a small TFSA account each, $10,000 each. They're also planning. They're trying to make an effort to contribute more, but they're not sure about it because they still have a mortgage, and they're planning. They accelerating their mortgage. They're planning to pay it off the mortgage by age when Carlos turns age 65 and they retire. So by the moment they retire, they would like to not to have any mortgage. So here is how their plan looks like, but this is what they're planning to have. A Canada pension plan, Carlos is going to have $850. He checked already with Canada pension plan. He asked for the pension estimate, and based on his income, on future contributions, and everything, he's confident he will receive $850. Vicky, she's not going to claim Canada pension plan because it's going to be very little. At age 65, it's going to be $100 per month because she worked very little in Canada at the beginning when they just came in. All the security for Carlos, if he happens to be 65 today and have 27 years of Canadian residency, he will have all the security, the $713 that is today per month, reduced to $481 because he doesn't have 40 years of Canadian residency. And if by age 65 you're not going to have your 40 years of Canadian residency, pay special attention on this because this is key on this case. And they will receive a guaranteed income supplement. Carlos will have $479 of guaranteed income supplement, and as a consequence of this, because Vicky is over the age of 60, she will receive $121 of allowance. And they're planning to retire $2,000 per month, $1,000 each from the RIF account, the $400,000 that they convert into a RIF. That we will pay them $1,000 per month, and they're confident that this money can last up to age 85. And based on their numbers, actually, we check with the calculators that I have on pensionbooster.ca, and actually the money can last up to the year in which Carlos turned age 87, based on their assumptions. And well, the total income will be $2,810 for Carlos, 1121 for Vicky, and a total combined income of almost $4,000. Very little income tax to payable for Carlos in this case, because, well, Carlos will be age 65, and at age 65, between the basic personal exemption, the tax credit, and the age credit, he will be very little income tax payable. But if you want to know more about that, just look for the videos where I talk about pension credits, tax credits at pension time. From age 67, 2 years later, when Vicky turns age 65, what would happen? Well, Vicky will qualify for all day security, but also she will claim her Canada pension plan, $100 per month. Carlos will have, in today's dollars, we assume the same Canada pension plan. All day security, the same for Carlos. Vicky will have a little bit more. She had 2 more years of Canadian residency by age 65. So they will have very little guaranteed income supplement because between the Canada pension plan of both and the $1,000 or the $2,000 combined that they withdraw from the RIF account, they will reduce the guaranteed income supplement to almost nothing. So their total income, it will be a little bit more, about $160 more than before Biggie turned age 65. This is the normal case. When we're dealing with these numbers, this is normal to that increase a little bit when the second spouse turns age 65. So what we're going to do now is to review all this and see what we can do for Carlos and Vicky. So this is what they have presently. So what I showed you before. And these are the notes. This is the proposed changes. So we're going to take Carlos in 2024. We look at Carlos' notice of assessment from his last income tax. We notice that he has more than $80,000 of RRSP room available. So what I'm suggesting is he should cash the $75,000 in RRSPs, pay the tax, don't worry about it, and deposit $75,000 into a spousal RRSP. So now So it's going to wash off. The tax is going to wash off. Nothing is going to happen tax-wise. But what's important is that this distribution here, and instead of having 75,000 each, there will be $150,000 of RRSPs on Vicky's name that Vicky is not working. So in year 2027, why 2027? Because we count 3 years, 2024, 2025, 2026. In year 2027, 3 years after, Vicky can withdraw the RRSP, start withdrawing the RRSP, and will be taxable on her name. So, because Vicky doesn't work, she doesn't have any income, she will pay very little income tax. I already worked that out. That's too long to show it in a presentation, and it's going to confuse you too much. Okay. But fact of the matter is that if they do this, and Carlos, instead of contributing $20,000 to RRSPs for the next 7 years, he will contribute 13,600. So how does this work? Well, he needs to earn money and pay tax because they live in Ontario. He's paying quite a bit of income tax, and I work out the income tax properly to them. And if he takes $20,000, pays the income tax that he has to pay, he will end up with 13,600. Again, I don't want to walk you through all those calculations because it takes too long and it's too confusing. Uh, so he will contribute to both TFSA accounts 13,600. So we're going to take all this $150,000 withdrawal from RRSP, and the after-tax money is going to go into a TFSA. And also, Carlos will contribute 13,600 per year divided between the two of them into TFSA because they only have $10,000 each in TFSA. There is more than enough room to do this, to achieve this in time for retirement. So that way, if they do this, instead of $400,000 at retirement time in RRSPs, they will have $330,000 in TFSAs because TFSA is money that already paid the tax. So it's money after tax. So they only have a little bit less money. And now we're going to look at the retirement again without the $400,000 in RRSP, but with the $330,000 in TFSA with the same parameters, making the money last. We went to the income calculator at pensionbooster.ca and review, make sure that this money will last for the length of the retirement up to the moment that Carlos turns age 87, which is what they want to calculate. And this is what come up with. So Canada Pension Plan will be the same from age 65 to age 63. All-day security will be the same, of course. The guaranteed income supplement will increase now because now we don't have any withdrawals from RIF. The RIF withdrawals are gone, and now they will withdraw $825 each from tax-free savings account. And well, of course, the income is going to be higher, and the total income is going to be more than $500 more per month for the first 2 years of retirement. So from 2 years after, from age 67 from Carlos and age 65 Vicky, so again, the same Canada pension plan, the same all-day security as before, but the guaranteed income supplement will be a lot higher this time. And again, there is not going to be any RIF because we got rid of the RRSPs. In time, they're going to have $825 per month each from TFSA, and the total combined income again will be a lot higher than before. In conclusion, we find out that in the first 2 years of retirement, uh, and from age 65 and 67, 65, this is what happens. So first 2 years of retirement, combined income $3,931 on the original plan. On the new plan, $4,091. So monthly after changes, $4,479 on the new plan and $4,791. This is a total gain, a monthly gain of $548 on the first 2 years of retirement. This is monthly gain, and $650 for the rest of their lives. This is more than $150,000 in the 20 years of retirement. This is a lot of money, guys. This is why it's so important to look at these things. This is happens in their case because their guaranteed income supplement is extra large due to the fact that they do not have 40 years of Canadian residency. And be careful. It doesn't work only if you don't have 40 years of Canadian residency, because in the case of a couple that we have one partner with lots of income and contributing to RRSPs, and the other partner with very little Canada pension plan, because the other spouse didn't work that much and had very little Canada pension plan. Even if partner number one has 40 years in Canada and contribute maximum, which is difficult to find, but contribute maximum to Canada pension plan and have maximum Canada pension plan, because the other spouse, the second spouse, will have very little Canada pension plan, then the guaranteed income supplement might be high enough for this to happen. Probably not as much as $7,500 per year, but it can be quite substantial. So you have to be very, very careful. Again, retirement is very personal. It's unique to each and every one of us, and you have to look at your own number and your own expectation of what your retirement life is going to be all about. So if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below the video on the comment section, or you can always contact me on the contact information on the description of the video to request a half an hour meeting that at no charge, and answer all your personal questions. And that meeting, we can have that meeting via Zoom or by telephone. I always recommend Zoom. Other than that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.